everyone, welcome back. This is Denise, and today I'm going to do a abstract piece here in the middle, maybe with different circle colors and mark making and lines. I just have a rough idea of where I wanted to go, and I'm working on my Hahnemühle 9x12 paper that I have just cut 3 inches off the bottom here to make it a square, and I'm just saving the little piece that I've cut off for samples and stuff, like when I want to have something I can use. And I've got my Masha's watercolors out because I want to play in those for a while, and I'm kind of thinking I want to be in this flame, maybe peach, maybe ultramarine purple, and green gold, kind of that family, just possibly until I like veer off of that into something else. But I'm kind of feeling pinks and reds and that green gold for some reason, so that's kind of where I'm gonna be here on these. And I'm just gonna lightly activate the ones I want to be in. And let's see, that one right there, and the green gold, I think it's that one right there. So we'll just see. We're gonna see what we can just come up with today and have a little fun painting. And I'm using my 1/2 inch oval wash by Princeton Neptune, and I am just going to have a little play, enjoy hanging out at the art table today. Nothing specific in mind beyond like a general idea. And I'm just going to lay color, and what I really like about these is they granulate and they kind of run into each other and do some fun tricks. And I might come back on top and layer other colors. I don't know. I don't have a specific goal. I had almost in my mind thought grid, and I already kind of got off of the grid idea, didn't I? already veered off into something else. That's okay. That's what's fun about sitting with no specific idea. It allows you to kind of go off in other directions accidentally without then getting like super distressed about it, which that takes a while to kind of build up that tolerance and that idea and that willingness to kind of be like, okay, here's where we ended up going. What are we going to do about it? How are we going to get somewhere cool? Okay, I needed to be more disciplined when I started this. If I was thinking grid, wasn't very disciplined there, was I? Okay, but that's the fun about being like in a little serendipitous kind of mood here. Alright, so I might come back in with some other fun art making as we're going too, because I could just kind of see what these will do if we mix some in and let them kind of granulate and do their thing, which is why I like these watercolors. They play tricks. They're tricky in a good way. All right, this is fun. Okay, I'm digging this. Ooh, I like that right there. That's why I like this brush. We get wonky shapes, and then we can get a cool design or texture or pattern kind of out of it. I like that. So because I didn't quite get a grid like I was thinking, just fill the square and just see where we can go with that. And we don't have to fill the square. That just happens to be where my inspiration just took me. Just ride that wave of inspiration. kind of fun to tap color into some of these. If we just saw what one of those did, that was super fun. While they're wet, they'll run and do some other things. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna, I think, let this dry and I'll be right back. All right, I think we're there. And I think what I'm gonna do is do some mark making and some drawing and maybe some line work, maybe some dots on top of that. I don't know. It's just kind of a go with the flow kind of moment. And I'm gonna use, I think, first some of my Zig Posterman gold, which is super close to that Kuretake gold. I did compare them. They're a tiny bit different, but they're close enough. These are made by Kuretake also, but these you can get at Blick. And I like the chisel tip because in a couple videos I've shown this, but you can get like so many different lines with the chisel tip. I can get this little fine line, I can get dots, I can get a thick line, so the chisel tip is actually super handy. The fine line was the super exciting part of that to me, and I'm kind of thinking that, you know, I could do some lovely super fine lines if I'm really doing it softly, or I can do it real thick if I want to press down or do dots or do something heavier. But I just kind of want to do fun decorations in here, so thought maybe I'd start with this one. I'm not going for anything in particular. I'm just kind of going with the flow and letting it just kind of drive intuitively where I might want to mark make and stuff. These are those Arttx markers. I haven't pulled these out in a while. I'm kind of feeling like maybe some mark making with these in a similar color to be some extra in the whole thing. One of those things that maybe you don't notice till you get up close and you're like, ooh, what is that? And then don't forget, you can look in my description for my favorites. All these things are listed on my favorites pages. That was number C52. This is number 18 by the Arttx markers. But yeah, you can find all these things on my favorites page. I'll link it in the description. Thinking, what if we come on top of here with like some temper stick? No, let's just do it. These are the temper paint sticks by Shuttle Art. And I like these because they dry fast and they don't smear later. They are kind of translucent, which that might not be my favorite part of that because it wasn't solid, but was kind of fun. I feel like maybe some Neocolor II crayons. This one is the Uni-ball Signo white. And I kind of feel like I want some graphite marks maybe in the white space that I've left. Just because. And just so that I don't accidentally get anything that's still wet, maybe I'll pull my wood stick out. It's just a paint stick from the paint store for the big 5-gallon buckets that I thought makes an excellent art hand rest. It's my favorite hand rest. I've got the little round one, you know, I've got with the little ball on the end that you use for drawing usually. I've got the little clear one that you can lay across your work. This one is the one I always go back to. And you just hold it slightly with one hand and it just holds it up. And this one ended up having a ruler on one side, but it's just a paint stir stick. It's my favorite art tool, my paint stir stick. Okay, I'm liking this a lot. I feel like it needs one more thing, like maybe a big circle or a punch of something, or what toys do we have around here? Maybe it needs like a big gold something. Maybe it needs a tiny bit of stenciling. Oh, maybe it just needs some punchinella. I love the punchinella. Ooh, how about the little punchinella? I do love the little punchinella. This is just sequin waste, and usually you find those at the fabric store in the ribbon area. Let's just scoot this over a little. I'm going to use my gold mica ink. I could use white. Ooh, it could be white. White or gold. Oh my gosh, white or gold. Got an ink blending brush. People ask me all the time, how do you wash these? You wash these just like you wash a paintbrush. And if they get stiff because you didn't wash it out so good, just kind of fluff it back up the next time. And these hold up well. I've been using these for a long time, even though I use and abuse them pretty good. Okay, here we go. Just get brave. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay. That's the perfect little extra little sparky I needed. Oh yes, it's delightful. Okay, let's go right there. That one might have too much paint on the brush, but that's okay. Don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, I love that. Good job. I just throw that in the water till I'm ready to go wash it off. All right, so let's see where are we at? We got enough shine in there. I'm kind of digging that. I'm liking where we went today. Kind of a little bit off of where I actually intended to go today, I think. In my mind, I was thinking in a grid. We'll do a grid a different day, because as I started talking and laying down color, we didn't quite end up in a grid. Kind of feel like maybe some light pink little whimsical in here as we're going. Yeah, so sometimes if you distract yourself enough, you'll end up somewhere else. You'll detour, and at the same time, that detour might be just where you actually were meant to go that day. So rather than having a solid expectation of where I'm going, I do kind of like leaving it open for look where we ended up and being excited about that. Of created more art than I've ever created before in my life, and enjoyed hanging out at my art table more than I ever have before by just letting go of those expectations and enjoying wherever we end up. Okay, that's pretty cool. Look at all those fun details and the way that that paint granulated and separated and gave us some color. Let's peel the tape and see if we think we're done. Because peeling the tape kind of solidifies it. It turns it into that finished piece, and I wanted this one to have a border so that I could maybe give it a deckled edge. What do we think about that? Ooh. Look how pretty this is. Okay, I'm getting more excited now that I have revealed the edges. Oh, look at that. Okay. That's actually more fun than I kind of expected. You just can't see the finished piece sometimes until you peel the tape, and you're like, it kind of like elevates it. Okay, that was super fun, and I'm glad that we went with the green gold and the orange and the purple and the flame. Those are pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's deckle the edges now that I set it so that we can show that off. I haven't done that in a while. And I have my great big rip ruler. This is my dual edge ripper. I love the rip ruler. And I like that it's clear, and then I can kind of judge where it is that it's going to give me a rip. And if the art's not perfectly straight, I can eyeball it along the edge here. And I know I didn't tape it perfectly straight, so I'm alright with that. And then you just tear it, and you need enough to really grip onto. And then you just tear it towards the edge. And my favorite edge, this is the original one, my favorite edge is this really subtle one. And then you can just kind of eyeball it. Like, how much did I tear off? And I kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it to look good when I'm done. This is so pretty. Even as I'm painting it, I'm like, oh gosh, are we going to get to a place that we like? And today we did. And if you tear it where you're like, oh, I don't like that edge right there, we can tear some more of it in a minute. Ooh, so if I get to where I've got one spot where I'm like, oh, I don't love this right here, then I just come back and I kind of tear down a little bit and get it in a spot that I like it better. Because by the time you get to a tiny bit of an edge, you're not going to be able to rip it on the ruler anymore. But look at that. Oh my gosh, now we can turn it around and see, is there another way that we like it? And I kind of like it this way, and I kind of like it this way. So completely different, upside down and backwards from where we started. So yeah, ho ho ho, maybe this way, maybe this is the way it was meant to be. Alright, hope you enjoyed hanging out and painting with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.